HIMARS. High mobility artillery rocket system became one of the most important weapons for the Ukrainian Armed Forces. From the moment Ukraine received HIMARS systems from the US, the Ukrainian military succeeded in inflicting irreversible harm to Russian logistics, effectively halting the progress of Russian forces. HIMARS turned out to be the most effective weapon against Russian ammunition depots, small shell storages and railway targets. Also, destruction of Russian headquarters and command posts severely impacted supply chains. One of the fattest targets of HIMARS was hitting a bridge over Dnipro and by doing so trapping over 19,000 troops without supply. HIMARS emerged as the most formidable and demoralizing weapon, instilling fear in Russian soldiers and disrupting their peaceful sleep. Now it is clear that HIMARS earned reputation of one of the most effective and feared systems of this war. So Russian army generals assigned an important task: to locate and eliminate all HIMARS systems. Despite numerous efforts, not a single American missile system was ever destroyed. Let's take a closer look at HIMARS and try to find out why it outperforms Russian counterparts. Russia has a huge array of multiple launch rocket systems. The most mobile and basic of them all is BM-21 Grad. This MLRS launch multiple 122mm rockets at once, and it can cover a distance of up to 10 miles. It's very deadly for infantry and lightly armored vehicles, but the drawback of this system is that it blankets the area. It's not that precise. The salvo consists of 40 rockets and all of them can be launched within 20 seconds. Russia has a couple more of MLRS, but the one of the most deadly is the Smerch missile system, which is bigger and is mounted on a sturdier chassis. It is capable of launching 300mm rockets up to a distance of 80 miles. The system is intended to defeat personnel, armored targets, artillery batteries, command posts and ammunition depots. It is much deadlier than the Grad system and can fire a full load of 12 solid fuel projectiles. Despite being very inhumane, dangerous and powerful, Russian systems are too scattery. They pepper up the area rather than destroy the target with single efficient hit. That's where HIMARS excels and outperforms Russian MLRS. According to Ukrainian assessments, approximately 300 Smerch missiles are required by the Russians to destroy a single Ukrainian target. You can see these numerous craters on the battlefields of Ukraine left by Russian MLRS. On the other hand, HIMARS only destroys targets, that way not only being very efficient but also keeping Ukrainian soil intact. A Ukrainian military source asserted that the accuracy is so precise that a missile can hit the chimney of a house when provided with its coordinates, while the Russian counterparts cannot hit the house, let alone the chimney. So they need to use a full salvo or even a whole battery of systems to hit a target, since they lack precision. Having seen the deadliness of HIMARS, the Russian command devised several unsuccessful methods to eliminate HIMARS with precision-guided caliber missiles. Initially, they attempted to pinpoint HIMARS locations through satellites. Russia launched several dozens caliber missiles at HIMARS, only to discover that the targeted systems were in fact decoys. Ukrainians established the production that matched the original dimensions. As a result, Russia spent massive amount of effort, rockets and money to destroy cheap decoys. There were multiple attempts to destroy HIMARS with different means, but evidently none of them were successful because HIMARS systems are effectively guarded, and as of now, not a single HIMARS missile system has been destroyed. Pentagon confirms that. The Ukrainians on their part are actively pursuing the most perilous Russian MLRS known as TOS-1. This missile system poses a significant threat due to its deployment of thermobaric ammunition, acknowledged as one of the most lethal Russian weapons. TOS-1, which is mounted on a T-72 tank chassis, operates as a standard multiple launch rocket system but fires projectiles with volumetric explosion capabilities. Upon impact, the first of two charges disperses the combustible mixtures in the form of a cloud. This cloud can penetrate any openings in structures or defenses or even tanks that are not hermetically sealed. Subsequently, the second charge ignites the cloud, generating an immense fireball within a fraction of a second, accompanied by a potent blast wave and a vacuum that absorbs all surrounding oxygen. Following the instantaneous detonation, the pressure experiences a rapid increase and then plummets below atmospheric pressure. The TOS-1 attack is almost impossible to survive because all the available oxygen is consumed in a chemical reaction, making it impossible to breathe due to the lack of oxygen in the affected area. That's a terrible weapon, and if we add a complete lack of precision, it becomes horrifying. The TOS-1 missile system was not created for accuracy but rather to blanket entire areas, burning everything within. The system can simultaneously launch 24 missiles with a caliber of 220mm, covering an expanse of around 4 football fields. Fortunately, the firing range is limited to 4 miles, confining their use to the combat zone. Usually, Ukrainians manage to neutralize these systems before they reach their effective range and unleash their inhumane attacks. Let's take a break from HIMARS and take a quick look at what else is in Ukraine's arsenal and how they use it. Ukrainian anti-tank missile systems continue to excel in its role. One of them is NLAW, which effectively neutralizes a Russian tank. As the smoke disperses, the Ukrainians aim the Javelin anti-tank guided missile and the target gets destroyed as the Javelin missile penetrates the armor, reaching the ammunition storage and triggering a powerful explosion that disintegrates the tank into numerous fragments. In the next instance, Ukrainian soldiers spot a Russian T-80 tank. A Javelin missile flies out, delivering a precise hit that incapacitates it. The tank is destined to burn down entirely within a few hours. Oftentimes, impacts from Javelin or NLAW or other Ukrainian ATGM like Stugna do not immediately destroy the tank. But it's not a problem, since the missiles often cause an internal fire. The ammunition then blows up. You can see an example of this Russian tank blowing up. Let's take a look at the Stugna anti-tank missile guided system, as it emerges as a potent weapon inflicting serious damage on Russian forces. First, the missile targets a Russian pickup truck carrying ammunition, obliterating it. Subsequently, missileers locate an MTLB and dispatch it to destruction with another precise missile strike. The Stugna has truly exceptional capabilities. Take a look at how it destroyed even the latest Russian attack helicopter, the Ka-52 Alligator. The Ukrainian system is quite new and is as technological and advanced as Western counterparts. Despite Russian attempts to fortify their tanks by welding grills onto them, this measure proves ineffective. Here's an example. One FPV drone skillfully and without any problems dives into the tank's engine compartment, igniting a fire. As the flames reach the electronics and ammunition, the tank faces total destruction. Here's how a kamikaze drone executes a targeted and extremely precise hit on a Russian tank by flying directly into the open hatch. As you see, FPV drones are a great addition to Javelin, especially in the cases when soldiers do not manage to destroy the tank with missiles. They then can easily target the tanks with FPV drones because they are most likely immobilized, which makes them easy targets. Ukrainian attack drones strategically target hangars housing hidden armor personnel carriers and other heavy equipment, leaving no chance of using them on a battlefield. Let's get back to HIMARS that is no match for the Russian MLRS. HIMARS, throughout its service in Ukraine, managed to destroy numerous Russian vehicles. You can see how the Ukrainians successfully locate and destroy a Zoopark 1M radar system using 2 HIMARS missiles. Additionally, Smerch MLRS units fall victim to Ukrainian HIMARS precision strikes, even when hidden in forest areas. Here's yet another target. The Tornado MLRS, a highly uncommon and costly system. The HIMARS acquire location data and launch missiles at the target. Russian SPH is getting ready for counter-battery fire against HIMARS, but HIMARS is faster with its response and launches several missiles that effectively destroy the most precise Russian SPH. Counter-battery warfare is where HIMARS shines. You can see it yourself by watching how HIMARS destroys these artillery systems and SPHs. The remarkable precision of Western artillery enables it to strike rare and valuable Russian SPHs, often with a single shot, which saves a lot of resources compared to Russians. Each howitzer's loss weakens Russia and protects hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers. Here you see how aerial reconnaissance identifies another appealing target. The Ukrainians use HIMARS and fire a precise shot, resulting in the destruction of another Russian howitzer. The Russians are rapidly losing their artillery, tanks and other heavy vehicles. Analysts foresee that Russia will not be able to restore the number of heavy equipment and artillery for years to come. If you found this episode enjoyable, please like and leave your comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode.